Chill Darkness, Dark Path, number 24, no longer. Samari was driving while I was sitting in the front seat. I get a call on my phone. Hello? Yeah, okay, got it. I hang up and he keeps driving. Keep going for a mile, then make a right, and we should be at their house. I said, how you holding up, man? Samari asked. I'm doing okay. I still can't believe Shelby's gone. I made her a promise and I failed. I said as I put my head on the window. It'll be alright, man. You did everything you could, said Samari. I looked back to see Casilda and Heather and Cara asleep. This is probably the only time they got real sleep, I said. I looked over in the far back and seen Gabby crying. I took my belt off and walked towards the back where she was. She was looking out the window as she was trying to cover up her face. I sat next to her, and then she looked over at me. I'm sorry about your friend. I truly am. It's okay, I said. She looked at Casilda. She's a brave little girl. She was taught. She was a tough one, too. She was taught really well. She was really tough, said Gabby. Thanks, I tried, I said. I was getting ready to go back up to the front. Jamario, is it okay if I hang out with you guys for a while? She asked. I looked at her. After everything that happened, you still want to be around? Why? I asked. Don't really have any friends. Heather and Amanda made sure I was okay when I was in there with them. You guys are really the only friends I have, really, she said. I smiled. Welcome to my family, I said back. I stuck my hand out and she shook it and smiled. I got back to the front and we had arrived to the neighborhood. We stopped and Eric's car had stopped in front of us. We waited. Why aren't they getting out? I thought. Eric got out the car and walked to the window. What's going on? I asked. They want you to walk them to the door, he said. Eric looked at me. Okay then. I got out, then Abby and Stephanie got out as well. I walked them to the door. Stephanie rang the doorbell and their mom opened it and started to cry as she hugged them both. Their dad came down and stood there froze, then ran up to them and hugged them. How? How did you? We were worried. The police said they didn't have any leads or anything, and they said they didn't think you two were even still alive, said their dad. This man saved us, Abby said. What's your name? The mom asked. I just stood there and didn't speak. Stephanie looked at me. Go ahead, you can tell them, she said. I'm Jamario, I said. They looked at me and smiled. The boy from Showville? They asked. Yes, I replied. They both hugged me. Thank you for saving him. Whatever you had to do, I understand, their mom said. You're welcome. Well, I better get going, I replied. Wait, Jamario, here. We want you to thank you for saving us. We really appreciate it a lot, Abby said. She handed me her number. You're like family to us now, she said and smiled. I looked at her. Thanks, that means a lot too, I said. I walked out the house and I walked to the car and Eric was standing there. You're welcome to stay at my place, he said. Thanks, I replied. Samari and Josh got out the car. So what now? I'll probably head out tomorrow. Are you going to be alright if I leave? Said Samari. Yeah, we will be okay. Thanks for the help, I said. When is that class reunion? I asked Eric. I think it's Friday. I think I have to look. Jamar, you don't have to go, man. It's just a stupid reunion. Besides, after you went through with your friends and I don't know if it would be a good idea if you should go. Or do you think you'll be okay going? Well, how many people can you invite? I asked. Well, you can invite one person, he said. I and the others can crash at Eric's place while you go, said Josh. Eric agreed with Josh, too. They will be safe, man, trust me. They'll be at my house. Nothing's gonna happen, trust me. Okay, I replied. We got in the car and drove to Eric's house. We arrived there. Wow, man, this is a big house, I said and laughed. Yeah, it's okay. We begin to walk inside. A girl comes down the stairs. Wow, you're here. Is this your best friend? She asked. Yeah, this is Jamario, said Eric. Nice to meet you. I'm Myra, she said. These are my family, and this is my daughter, Casilda, I said. Myra walks up to her and shook her hand. Thanks for letting us stay here, Casilda said and smiled. She looked at her and smiled back. You're welcome. The rooms are upstairs. Casilda and Kara ran upstairs. She is beautiful, said Myra. Now, which one of you is his lovely wife? Myra asked. Heather and Amanda looked at her and didn't speak. Eric frowned and put her in the kitchen. Myra, I told you already. I remember I told you just a few days ago. He said, I'm sorry, she whispered. He walked back and he sighed. Sorry, Jamario. He laughed. It's okay. How is this area? I asked him. He looked. It's okay. Not like the exciting, nice hood we live in, like we used to live in when we were kids. He said, yeah, I was there earlier visiting my mom. It looked like no one lived around there anymore. I said, Amber's parents moved back there and live around that area. Eric said, really? I said, maybe I should go pay them a visit later. I replied. You want me to go with you? Eric asked. Nah, I'll be okay. Let me go check in with the others. Thanks for letting me stay here. Thanks for letting us stay here too. I really appreciate it. I said, hey man, we're brothers, and I'm sorry about Shelby. Again, I really mean it. He says, oh, Jamario, when you get a chance, let me talk to you about something. He asked. Okay, sounds good to me, I replied, and I went upstairs. There were 5 rooms, and I walked in one of the rooms, and Gabby was sitting in one of them laying down. I closed the door back, and I knocked, and Heather opened the door. I was making sure you were okay, I asked. She looked at me. Yeah, I'm okay. Thanks for checking on me. I'm gonna get some more rest. I think Kara and Casilda and Amanda are in that room, she said. Okay, thanks. I said, Jamario, I know what you're going through, what we all went through. You tried. Don't beat yourself up. Shelby did what she did to protect all of us. I know that. She stopped speaking. It's okay, I understand. I miss her. And I really miss her too. But get some rest, I replied. I walked in the room and Kara and Casilda was sitting there. Hey, what are you two up to? I asked. They just laughed at me. Coloring? They both said, as they both were on the floor. Amanda was sitting there and she looked at me. Everything okay? She asked. Yeah, I'm just gonna go visit another friend. Well, their parents anyway. I don't think my friend is there, I replied. You want me to go too? She asked. No, you stay here. I'll be back. I know you will, she said and smiled. I walked out the room. If Heather is asleep? Amanda asked. No, I think she's still awake. I just got done talking to her from moments ago. She's still upset about Shelby. I said, we all are, said Amanda. I walked out and closed the door, and I walked back downstairs. I'll be right back, I said. I got in the van and drove to Aaron's parents' house. I had arrived to Aaron's parents' house finally and walked up to the door and rang the doorbell. The door opened. Oh my, Jamario, how are you? Come on in, she said. I walked in. Hi, Mrs. Height. How are you? I asked. I'm doing great. Wow, and you even got married too. I always thought you would marry Amber, but I didn't say anything. Well, that's not all, I said. I reached into my wallet and pulled out a picture of me and Casilda. Oh, my windy days. Is that your daughter? She asked. Yes, it is, I replied. She is so beautiful. What's her name? She asked. Casilda. She's 9, I said. So how have you been though? Oh, have a seat. You want a Coke or something? She asked. Sure, I replied. She sat down. Elizabeth was around here somewhere, she said. What grade is she in? I asked. She's in high school now. She's a senior. So what brings you here? She asked. I came here to visit my mom. I haven't been here since I left high school. I said, wow, that's a long time. I thought you was here for the high school reunion. It should be a blast. She said, yeah, I was thinking about it, but a voice was coming down the stairs. Mom, have you seen my... She stops and froze, and I turn around and... Jamario? She says. I looked at her and froze, then finally spoke. Amber?